Since the start of the season, we have had 4 wins and 1 defeat, which is still very, very good, but it could be even sweeter if we can get off to a winning start in the Champions League. Hello, welcome to Club 3, part 13 of the Global Explorer. Coming up in today's episode, we do have our first ever Champions League fixture of the Global Explorer as well. It will be against Monaco. Then we'll also have our league fixture against Real Madrid. So one easy game, one not so difficult game. I think we can tell what the difficult game is. Monaco, because Real Madrid, not that easy, but we can beat them. We know we can beat them. But since the start of the season, we know we had the 2 wins at the start of the season against Mallorca and San Sebastian. But since then, we picked up a 4-0 win over Granada. Very, very simple. Costa Silva having a brilliant game in there. Beat 2-0 against Getafe. Garcia and Hernandez getting themselves on the score sheet. Then, unfortunately, lost 2-1 to Elche, despite the fact Garcia got a goal in the 88th minute. Just wasn't enough to get an equalised in the last minutes that were remaining of the game. So, we are currently second in the league, which is not too bad. If we beat an Elche or drawn against them, might have been top of the league, but it's still fairly decent form. We did have the end of the transfer window where we did have a couple last minute movements. Katie Cobbs has left the club to join FC Porto, where he is already wanted by teams unknown. That is just absolutely ridiculous. They've signed him for 20 million, so we've taken a slight loss on him, but he never really got a firm grip into the first team, so we sold him for 20 million, but I don't think it's too bad of a loss then. To replace him, we have brought in Aurinho. He's a Brazilian centre-back, 2.5 stars of current ability, good first division player. He comes in from Eintracht Frankfurt for a fee of 18.5 million. Previously, had playing experience at Crystal Palace, who signed him on a free transfer, then sold him for 34 million. That's absolutely ridiculous. Had a couple of loan spells at Swansea, and Plymouth has spent majority of his career with Liverpool, only making 1 appearance with them. That is absolutely fantastic. So hopefully he'll be a decent-ish backup. But let's get cracking with our run in the Champions League, which the board don't seem to be particularly too fast. They want us to be competitive. So obviously I want to try and get into the knockouts. Then we'll go from there. So this is the lineup for our first ever Champions League game against Monaco. It is Sissoko in goal, back for Boateng, Dervas, Guga, Leno, Prente at the base of the midfield. Then ahead of him we've got Costa Silva and Hernandez. We've got Samiris out on the right, Pablo Garcia on the left. Then we've got Mikel Shenson up front. Come on, lads, let's hopefully get off to a flying start in the Champions League. Hopefully beat Monaco by at least 4 goals to put us top of the league face, which would be absolutely fantastic. If we can finish in the top 8, I don't think we will do, because we've got a lot of tough games. We've got the likes of Liverpool, which that's the second Champions League game, which I don't know if I'm particularly bothered. As long as we win at least 4 of them, then the rest of them, I think we should be guaranteed a spot in the next round with 4 wins. Might need 5, but I reckon 4 wins for the playoffs, 5 wins if we want to try and make a push for the top 8. Then the rest of the other 3 games, if we can pick up points in them, that would be great. But we do have quite a difficult start to the Champions League. Then the last 3 games, which can't remember who they were against. There's a team from Cyprus, which is the 7th Champions League game, but yeah, the last 3, game week 6, 7, and 8, should be all fairly simple. And Costa Silva has put us 1-0 up in our first ever Champions League. Well, my first Champions League game. Don't know if it's Betis's first Champions League game of the save. They might have been in the Champions League for a couple of seasons, but personally for me, my first ever time managing in the Champions League. My good God, it is absolutely terrifying. Prente has got the ball down to Hernandez. This is looking very positive. Samiris whips in. Oh, he's gone over the top of the goalkeeper, and Pablo Garcia beautifully controlled, but couldn't quite get the ball out of his feet to put the ball into the back of the net. But there's big question marks over the Monaco goalkeeper in that move. Completely missed the ball. I'm not saying missing by a couple of centimeters. He really missed the ball. He wasn't anywhere near it. And has got the ball. This is looking very positive. Now I say it, could be a second goal incoming, possibly. Boateng down to Smearis. That is lovely movement. And Jensen, Smearis did all the hard work, and Jensen practically had a simple finish on his plate, but somehow he drags it just wide of the goal. We're barely halfway through the first half. We're performing really well. 9 shots, 2 on target. Monaco, yeah, well, I mean, it's not really any bother mentioning them. They haven't really started the game at all. I don't think they've had any shots on goal so far. We're looking likely to get a second goal any minute now. Ronaldo has got the ball, drives into the box. Can he get the ball into the box? He does. Prenti does put the ball into the back of the net to make it 2-0 to Real Betis with 15 minutes left to go of the first half. This is very, very good. If we could perform like this every Champions League game, which I suspect isn't going to happen, because obviously we've got Liverpool. I don't know how good Liverpool are. I don't know if they're tearing it up in the Premier League. I highly doubt it. But you never know. If we could beat them, and then we might be in with a chance of... I highly doubt we're going to win the Champions League this year, but if we can pose a threat away from home and our place, I think we've got a very good chance of winning it. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. We just have to get through to the knockouts first, which does seem like absolutely ages away with the 7 other league phase games, which is absolutely ridiculous. Whoever thought of this format is an absolute wally, because I absolutely hate it. It's so confusing, but I'm sure I'll get used to it at some point. Hernandez is tired, so we'll get him off the Belotta. I think Fermin deserves to have a run around, so Costa Silva can come on. Then I think for the other change for now will be Sergio. He's going to come on for Smearis, so he could just get a little bit of game time. He's been lacking game time this season, because Smearis has been just absolutely unbelievable this season. But we've got 25 minutes left to go. 2-0 up. Monaco, if they're going to have a chance of a comeback, they're going to have to get at least a couple shots on target, which at the moment they've had 2 shots. None of them have been on target. I highly doubt they are going to get a goal. They might get 1 goal back. I'm not saying they're going to pull off the most extraordinary comeback of all time, but they might do something. But I think at the moment, judging by the stats, I think we've got this game all wrapped up. And dare I say it, I reckon we could possibly go and grab a 3rd goal. If we create a few more chances, I'm sure that might happen at some point. Well, I mean, hopefully we can get some more shots on goal. Where Jensen is going to make way for Victor Roque, and I think for the final change will be, let's get off Boateng. He's looking a bit tired, so Lee Chong can come on for him with 10 minutes left to go. Still just a 2-goal advantage, but time is quickly running out for AS Monaco, where I'm hoping they don't get a goal, because I do want to keep this clean sheet. Guga, that was a bit of a scary pass from you, but we've still got possession with Fermin. Has got the ball. He's got Victor Roque ahead of him. Can really find him. I don't think he will. He's going to do it alone. Does find Victor Roque, and he does put the ball into the back of the net. And is that going to be allowed? I don't see an offside infringement. It is going to be checked. And goal has been awarded. I just see the lino put his flag up, but it's on one of those occasions where the lino got it wrong. And Victor Roque, a very neat finish. Yeah, the lino puts his flag up. I thought it was going to be offside, but thankfully the goal did get awarded. So it just shows you the officials can get it wrong sometimes. I always thought when the referee puts his flag up, it's going to be disallowed. But no. Oh boy, was I wrong. And we did win our first Champions League match. 3 goals to 0. And does that put us top of the league phase? I highly doubt it. Definitely inside the top 8, but that is a very, very good start. Fourth after the first game. Not too bad. I suspect we'll be a little lower by the time we get to the next episode, but hopefully we can carry on this great form with another win against Real Madrid. The lineup for our match against Real Madrid, it is Sissoko and goal, back for Boateng, Maidman, Guga and Leno. Puente at the base of the midfield, and ahead of him we've got Costa Silva and Hernandez, Smiris on the right, Pablo Garcia on the left, and leading the line we've got Victor Roque up front. Well, hopefully he puts in a decent performance because he didn't come from Real Madrid, played for Barcelona. Obviously, Barcelona, Real Madrid, massive rivals. So hopefully he can carry on this rivalry with Real Madrid, and hopefully he can get a hat trick after his superb display from coming off the bench in our 3-0 win over Monaco. But as you know, our track record against Real Madrid, pretty decent. I think the 3 times we've played them so far as Real Betis manager, I think we've had 2 wins, 1 draw. We may have had a defeat. I mean, we had a defeat in the Spanish Cup, but that doesn't really affect the league campaign. But I think last year we certainly had a win. I think the first fixture was a 2 draw, if I remember correctly. I think we were in a game where we were 2-0 up or 1-0 up, then went 2-1 down, then either got an equaliser or it was the other way round. I can't really remember, but most important thing is when we play Real Madrid, we tend to usually get a point or all 3 points, which is hopefully what is going to happen in this fixture. Costa Silva, that is an outrageous, unorthodox method of saving with his feet. I think it actually went in between the legs, so he's a little bit lucky it didn't find the back of the net. But we are 20 minutes into the game. We've started the game really well. 6 shots, 2 on target, or 3 shots, 7 shots, 3 on target. Real Madrid only managing the 1 shot so far, which was on target, but we do have 20 minutes left to go. If we can keep the pressure on, I'm sure we're going to grab a goal at some point. But Real Madrid with a set piece of their own, and thankfully the header was just over the top of the crossbar, not fearing Sissoko in any way. Obviously a former academy graduate from Real Madrid, but never really got into their first team squad, and now we've taken him and given him a lifeline, I would call it. So I think he's been absolutely superb this season, Sissoko, and hopefully he can keep another clean sheet today to take his total up to, like, I think it's probably 4 or 5 of the season, including the last game in the Champions League. Gariba, is that Patrick Gariba? Is it? Or am I just imagining things? No, it is Patrick Gariba, formerly one of our own at West Brom, now playing for Real Madrid. Who knew he was such a good signing? Arsenal, what have you done there? I mean, Arsenal, they let one go massively. I mean, I can't believe we signed him for West Brom on a free transfer. Then we sold him to Leverkusen for like 30 million, which was absolutely insane at the time. He was playing for League One. Was he playing with us in League One? I can't really remember, but terrific player he is, and thankfully he's now managed to find his level at Real Madrid. Wish it was Betis, but Real Madrid even better. But hopefully we can get one over him today and hopefully get the win, which I think we're very unlucky not to be 1-0 up at half time, but we do go into the break goalless at the moment, with us being far superior in terms of the stats. We've had 13 shots, 15 shots, 4 on target, 7 corners. It's only a matter of time, right, before we get our first goal of the game, hopefully. If we don't come away with at least a point today, which at the moment we're doing well so far to get ourselves a draw, but if we can get the first goal of the game, that would be absolutely spectacular. But Karame has got the ball. Can we just try and stop him from putting the ball into the box? He does have the shot, thankfully. Sissoko does get a touch onto it, and he does deny Real Madrid their first goal of the game. But with 35 minutes left to go at the moment, it's probably heading for another golden draw, I reckon. But there might be a late twist with half an hour left to go. We are going to make a couple of substitutions. Sergio is going to come on for Smiris, and I think Leno also comes off for Atta Signore for his not debut, but one of his many appearances I'm sure he'll make from off the bench. He won't start any games, but he will make a couple appearances here and there coming off the bench. He might start in the Spanish Cup, those sort of games, those meaningless Cup games. Sergio, by the looks of it, has picked up an injury. It's not ideal considering we just brought off Spears, but Sergio picking up an injury does allow Jensen to come on. I think Victor Roque drops out. Jensen goes up front. 20 minutes left to go. There's still plenty of time to grab a winning goal, possibly, but Real Madrid with the set piece. Maidment does header it clear. He's got to be offside, surely. Referee, he looked way off there. Whoever took their corner, it looked like he was way offside, but I don't think he was. I think it might have just been a brilliant time run, or something must have been keeping him on. But Sissoko, can you just get the ball upfield? He doesn't really find anyone, but it does fall to Silva. Now to Rocky again. This is looking very positive. If we can just get the ball over the top of the defence for Jensen or Garcia to run onto, then that might be us 1-0 up. But Senor does find Garcia, doesn't get taken down. If he went to the ground, I reckon that would have been a penalty. But Senor, now to Prente with the strike. Oh my God, that was so close. It's a corner ball. Are we going to see the corner? We're not going to see it, but we do see another corner. Pablo Garcia will whip it in. Really find the header of Maidment or Guga. Come on, please, make it a good delivery. Garcia, Maidment, falls to the now. Oh, come on, somebody put it back into the box. Have a shot. We've got a penalty. Garcia goes down. Are we going to get the penalty? The referee's going to have a look at his little monitor, but I feel like it should be a penalty. It was a clear foul in the area. Are we going to get a penalty? I want to see the referee looking at his little monitor, if he is looking at one. Come on. What's the final decision? What's the verdict? Are we going to get the penalty? Yeah? Yes, we do. But I didn't see the decision. I don't think it popped up. It might have done. I probably just missed it. Pablo Garcia steps up. He shoots. He scores. The goalkeeper did dive the correct direction, but he couldn't get anywhere near the ball. And we are 1-0 up against Real Madrid through a penalty. But thankfully, Garcia was on top and he puts the ball into the back of the net. And yeah, the goalkeeper had no chance of getting to that. We've got 10 minutes left to go. Gariba with the ball. If he was to get an equaliser, I'd be absolutely devastated and also pleased for him, but also more so devastated for the fact we could hold on to a lead. And that was a poor pass, very pathetic attempt to try and pass to someone. I don't know who it was to, but Cholet with the ball, and thankfully the assistant does put his flag up for offside. We've got 5 minutes left to go. I think we will make a couple of changes. Prente is going to make way for Vermeeren. And I think Bernal also makes way for Pablo Garcia, who's absolutely shattered but has put us 1-0 up, so he can be pleased with his performance. But Real Madrid have got the ball down the left-hand side with Gariba. Can we just take his legs out? Find Cholet, and that's a decent goal. And Real Madrid do get the equaliser. I was hoping that Cholet might have been offside, but I don't think he was. I think it was just a brilliantly timed run. Yeah, it's being held on by... I think it was being, held on by Senor, but I think he probably got the ball in just in behind Guga, so most definitely was not offside. But Boateng has got the ball. If we could get the ball into the box with Guga, just hoof the ball upfield. Come on, do something. Senor, this is looking fairly positive. I don't know where this is needed. Hopefully it's a goal, and Senor does lose the ball. I must say we probably chucked him a little bit of a deep end, playing him against Real Madrid, and we are 2-1 down with a few minutes left to go. That came on Senor losing possession, and I'll probably hold my hands up saying that's probably the wrong player to bring on against such a big team. And Cholet puts the ball into the back of the net to make it 2 for him and 2-1 to Real Madrid with 5 minutes left to go. A couple minutes left to go. Victor Roque's had a shocker today. He's had an absolute shocker. He had a brilliant game last game, or the minutes that he played. He didn't play well at all today. I mean, we went 1-0 up, but just couldn't quite keep on to that lead. I feel like Senor, if we had got him on later in the game, that might have been more achievable. But Sergio is out for 5 to 6 weeks. That's not ideal, but I think we'll be fine without him. But hopefully we could. Hopefully that's just a little bit of a blip against Real Madrid. We played well, just couldn't get the victory quite over the line. So I think we'll play a fair few games in between now and the next episode. Then I think we probably come back for our Champions League games, because I think that's probably what we'll focus on this season, because the La Liga, it's fairly self-explanatory. Get the wins against the big teams, apart from Real Madrid, but then and you should be in the Champions League places. We might be top of the league by the time of the next episode, but in the next episode, we shall be playing our Champions League games against Napoli and Man United. If you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more Daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.